I think we're back. Thank you, Vaishal.
Yes, Prabhu, let's start.
Can you hear him?
Should I just break into it?
Yes, go ahead. Just continue
Okay.
from where it cut off.
So we were.
Move closer to your speaker.
Oh, it's coming through loud and clear.
Okay.
Thank you. So, but it doesn't seem to have. There's your picture, Vaishal, but not mine.
Sorry about that. That's the way it is.
Okay, good enough. So confidence that we have this faith. Yeah, we're talking about what we need in order to be submissive, to have this relationship with Srila Prabhupada where we can drink in his energy, his vibration into our heart. And first we have to be peaceful enough, not disturbed. And the next thing is we have to have faith that he's really there, he's really available, and that he's willing to have this relationship with us. As he says, as you're always thinking of me, I'm always thinking of you. Like that. And so he says, so we have confidence that Srila Prabhupada is the external manifestation of the Lord in our heart, and he can understand and reciprocate the feelings of our heart. We have to have this faith that this is a reality. This is called Nishchayat. So we have this peacefulness, and we have this confidence, and these are things that enable us to open up to Srila Prabhupada. The next ingredient, enthusiasm. Yeah, Srila Rupa Goswami says, utsahan, enthusiasm, in our nectar of instruction. Not only must we approach Srila Prabhupada with a peaceful heart, free of hankerings, free of lamentation, and have the faith that Srila Prabhupada can feel our desire to know him. We have to approach him with great enthusiasm. Utsahan, Srila Prabhupada is offering us such a wonderful gift. Yeah. If we have faith that this is really an invitation to Krishna Loka, then we approach naturally with great enthusiasm. If somebody is giving you an all-expense paid, trip to anywhere, then you accept it. If you believe it's true, you. So this is, as we approach Srila Prabhupada with this feeling of great enthusiasm, joyful enthusiasm. So the next ingredient that's required in the submission process is joyfulness. I'll read a few quotes from Srila Prabhupada's lectures. This one in 1972.
Prabhu, if you can start your video, then it'll be better. I think your video is not started.
Oh, okay, that's what I see. Oh, I see. I'm clicking on it. It says start my video, but it doesn't come on. Oh, there I am. Oh, okay. Oh, now it's done something else. Join from Zoom.
I'm coming.
Yeah. Click allow on the dialogue shown by your browser.
No, come on there. What's the problem?
I don't know. Can you go back?
Sure. What's he saying to you?
I don't know.
It's working now.
There, okay. Okay, so this next ingredient in our formula, thank you, Vaishal, for being cultivating this mood of submission is joyfulness. And Srila Prabhupada says in this lecture, 1972, December 27. He's lecturing on Nectar of Devotion. Srila Prabhupada says, so, Krishna consciousness means one is not identifying himself with this material body. He's identifying himself in his original constitutional position. Aham Brahmasmi. I'm spirit. Hey, that's a person that's thinking like that. That's what Krishna consciousness means, Srila Prabhupada says. Krishna consciousness means that one is identifying himself with his original position, Aham Brahmasmi. One has to become first of all, one has to become joyful by identifying himself with spirit. At that time, what will be the result? Na sochati na kangshati. He has no more lamentation or hankering. He's feeling his spiritual nature. At that time, Srila Prabhupada continues, at that time, one can understand what is the science of God, Bhagavat Tattva. It's not a sentiment, Srila Prabhupada says. So, we have to become, in other words, the doors open up as our attitude becomes brighter and brighter. Here's another one from Fire Sacrifice, 1969, Los Angeles, July 16. That Brahma Bhuta, Srila Prabhupada talking about Brahma Bhuta. That Brahma Bhuta means simply to understand that I'm not the material body, to be convinced firmly with all reason and argument, firmly conviction. This is called faith. One must be firmly convinced. So then you immediately become joyful. As soon as one is convinced that I'm not this material body, then immediately he becomes joyful. And what is that joyfulness? Srila Prabhupada's still talking. And what is that joyfulness? There's no more lamentation. There's no hankering. So, now I'm back, and there are so many quotes, but we can't give them all in one class. But the understanding is this. If we're in goodness, if we're peaceful in heart, if we have faith that Srila Prabhupada can know us, and we can know him, and if we cultivate feelings of joyfulness, as soon as one is convinced, if we can cultivate joyfulness, understanding I'm not this body, I'm pure spirit soul, then we can approach Srila Prabhupada transcendentally within our heart with joyful enthusiasm. And then immediately, in 1 second, we will feel his presence. In 1 second. It's just a question of having the right attitude that this is a reality. That means faith. If our faith is there, and our heart is peaceful, and we're happy that we can have this opportunity, joyful, and we approach Srila Prabhupada with this happiness, with this joyfulness, with this enthusiasm, then immediately this is all that's required, that our heart will be able to feel Srila Prabhupada's response. There's nothing else to it. There's nothing to it but to do it. So I say that if we're in goodness, with peaceful in our hearts, and with faith that Srila Prabhupada can know us, and we can know him, and if we cultivate this feeling of joyfulness, understanding that I'm not this material, I'm spirit, and we approach Srila Prabhupada transcendentally within our heart with enthusiasm, then immediately in 1 second we will feel Srila Prabhupada's presence. Immediately within 1 second, we will feel his presence, and we'll feel his love for Krishna. We'll feel his enthusiasm. There in the Gayatri mantra that we receive a second initiation, the third line, Angarudavaya Vidmahi Krishnandaya Dhimahi. Dhimahi, we meditate. What do we meditate on? It says that as it were, he's my spiritual master. I'm meditating on his feeling of devotion to Krishna. There's a process, so we can, this is it. So then, so he says, then we can begin to engage in devotional service. Oh yeah, then we feel his presence in a second. We feel his love for Krishna. We feel his love for us. And with that love in our heart, we can begin to engage in devotional service. What do you say? Under his guidance. Under his guidance, I mean, he's showing us, helping us to have a devotional feeling. That's engaging under his guidance. Srila Prabhupada's love becomes our love. And this is, that's why Srila Prabhupada said it's an apprenticeship program. He used this phrase, that we're learning from him. What is this love? Prema Bhakti Yahavite. This is what Srila Prabhupada has come to share with us. From him, this love of Krishna emanates, and our business is to catch it. That's why we are spiritual master. Must be a Bhagavat. Otherwise, what can somebody share with a disciple if he doesn't have this? So they call it a scam. So our business is to catch that seed of devotion and sow that seed in our heart. Hold it and cultivate that seed through all our activities of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada's engaging in Krishna consciousness under Srila Prabhupada's guidance in this way, in Srila Prabhupada's association in this way, with joyful enthusiasm. We can do that in a second. Or we may not do it in a million births. But there's no senior devotees in this movement. The Srila Prabhupada is available to all of us equally. Doesn't matter when you join. Someone joins today or tomorrow can be more close to Srila Prabhupada than all of us. Srila Prabhupada is available to all of us. He's only waiting for us to approach him. So It's simply a matter of understanding and accepting. Srila Prabhupada is asking all of us the same. Please accept my blessing. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Okay. Prabhu, I think your voice is cancelled according there.
Oh, yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Personal relationship must be established. There's no other way, there's no other way, there's no other way.
No, there is not. That's our science of Krishna consciousness. It's not that Krishna consciousness cannot be earned. It has to be accepted from someone who's offering it to us, and then cultivated under his guidance. Please accept my blessings, Srila Prabhupada is asking us. But, it takes a little time reading his books, hearing his talks, to begin to understand the philosophy. And that this process we're describing or trying to describe a little bit can be done by anyone in 1 second if they have faith, if they have a happy heart, if they have enthusiasm, and they approach Srila Prabhupada like that with a joyful enthusiasm. As much we want to what did it say? We want to have an understanding of love of Krishna. So there's an inquiry. What is this love of Krishna? So what is the measure of a real inquiry? The joyful enthusiasm with which we approach Srila Prabhupada in a submissive way, that is the measure of our inquiry. That is the real inquiry. Because without that open-hearted enthusiasm to receive, the inquiry has no meaning. Yeah.
So, according to your experience and realization, when Srila Prabhupada was personally present, and from 1965, 1966, all the way to 1977, you think that was there to some degree and it kind of gradually, unwound itself to default programming?
Can you say that in different words, Prabhu? I'm just trying to understand what
I'm saying that this Krishna consciousness movement, when Srila Prabhupada was manifesting from 1965, officially ISKCON 1966, all the way to 1976, 77, you think this attitude or this feeling towards Srila Prabhupada was somewhat present, or was it always never present, or it was just unheard of? What's your...
I lived with devotees in Boston Temple, Los Angeles Temple, Vancouver Temple, Montreal Temple. We had in those days, we had classes every morning, Bhagavatam, every evening, Bhagavad Gita, followed by Nectar of Devotion. I have never heard one devotee describe what we're discussing today. But I did hear all of them say that if we just have a good score, now I'm putting in my own words, if we all do what we're supposed to do, one day we'll receive a bolt of lightning from Krishna Loka and we'll have realization. And this is the way it was taught, because they were not understanding the philosophy. If they're saying more, you distribute more books, if you chant more rounds, if you do this, if you do that, and this more service, we will earn, EARN, just like earning a paycheck if you're working for someone in a job, or you have your own business. You're working very hard, and you will earn, and they're thinking and waiting that one day this is a misunderstanding of our philosophy, but and so Srila Prabhupada is saying that it can happen in a second. It's only a question of understanding and accepting, and that the process is. But so every day the devotees are singing. From him this love of God emanates.
Yes, yes.
It's in our books. What does it say? Like I say, there's so many quotes. Association is like a crystal stone. Nectar of Devotion, chapter 12. You're like a mirror that if we associate with a pure devotee, our heart can receive what emanates from him, and that mirror can reflect towards Krishna Loka. His own, Srila Prabhupada's love of Krishna, we can direct towards Krishna. Yeah, it's right there. It's in every book that Srila Prabhupada says that devotional service, Srimad Bhagavatam, it's an infectious, and that just like you catch a disease from someone, you'll catch devotion from someone who has it, and that means, Srila Prabhupada says, that infection means to imbibe the taste of devotion in the associate. It's in the books. It's in the Bhagavatam. It's in there. It's in the Nectar of Devotion there, where we said association, crystal stone. It's in the Bhagavad Gita, inquiry, submission, and service. It's it's in our Guru Puja prayer. From him this love of Krishna emanates. So, it's everywhere, but it go over the head, partly because, why? Because we tend to think materially, as conditioned souls. We think that spiritual life is something that we can earn.
Right.
But you can do this for earning. It's pious. There will be some benefit. And the result of years, perhaps, of doing all the good things we're supposed to do as devotees. So it says that, what does it say? That how you chant, chapter 18, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, how one becomes ecstatic by chanting Hare Krishna. The process is, quote, the process is that the disciple hears the chanting of the spiritual master, and if he chants with the same feeling, that becomes the worship of the holy name. That's submission. It's in every book. But so I was, like I told you other times, with Srila Prabhupada, and there was one devotee, Atreya Rishi, asking questions of Srila Prabhupada about atonement. And Srila Prabhupada showed it. Atonement means read my books, So we have to become serious students and try and understand what is Srila Prabhupada saying to us. If you go to Krishna book and a chapter where it says the separate feelings of separation of the gopis, in that chapter, first page, in that chapter, Srila Prabhupada says, we have to develop this mood of separation from Krishna, like the residents of Vrindavan and the 6 Goswamis had this feeling of separation from Krishna, and our whole Gaudiya Sampradaya has this. It cultivates this mood of separation from Krishna. And how do we get it? It says at the bottom of that page, first page, of that chapter, I think 34, the spiritual master will enrich the disciple with these feelings of separation from. how can he enrich? You know, he give us the ingredient. It's all over, but it seems like I'm not meeting more than one or two here and there devotees who have the same idea, or rather who understand.
So what's the cure for something that has been understood in such a confined understanding? Like reading Prabhupada's books. I mean, generally it seems it's very hard to get out of this consciousness to more books, more temples, more, instead of developing a personal relationship with the pure
Of course,
devotee.
both should go on, but
This
not that.
cultivation, this higher understanding.
Yes, because the most insignificant devotee, what if I became crippled? What if I
Right.
couldn't offer artik? What if I couldn't go on Samkirtan? What if I couldn't wash pots in the temple or cook or do anything? But if I had thy heart, would it be in the right place, like
Right.
we're trying to understand? Then would there be any problem? Wouldn't Srila Prabhupada, just like that Brahmin in South India, when Lord Chaitanya, he was there. He was illiterate. He couldn't even read, but his spiritual master told him to read. So the Bhagavad Gita every day. So he was sitting with the Bhagavad Gita, and the residents of his village, they were
Mocking him and ridiculing him.
right. And then Lord Chaitanya said, "But I see that you're crying and you can't read. Why?" He says, because I'm thinking that Krishna agrees to drive the chariot of his devotee. The Supreme Lord takes the position of a chariot driver, just
Right.
like a taxi cab man or something, and when I think of that, how Krishna is so loving like that, it makes, so it's all a matter. So Lord Chaitanya embraced him and said, "You're the real student of Bhagavad Gita, not the one who memorized all the verses, the
Right.
one who felt something." So it's all, this is bhakti yoga.
Joy.
But so we're trying in our own little way to share this understanding with anyone who is willing to consider. That's all we're asking. Just try and understand, and then if we don't know quite how to go about it, but we say, "Oh, I want to have a personal relationship with our spiritual master," you cannot pray to Krishna or to Srila Prabhupada. How does this work? Please help me to understand. That help will come. We'll be given intelligence how to go forward. But I'm just trying to give a tiny bit of encouragement in
Right.
my own tiny way. That's all.
All right. So I think we'll end it here in a good note. Thank you, Ishan Prabhu, for
Very well. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
the discussion. Stop the recording here.